My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Forrest Gump. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But this is a classic. It is loved by almost everybody. It is rated the 11th best movie of all time on IMDb. It did great at the box office. It was nominated and won a bunch of Oscars. Like, this is one of the most famous movies of all time, and I think it's perfectly fine. I've never loved it, but I still enjoy it enough. So, let's begin talking about the cast. And I think Tom Hanks does a very good job here. To quote Tropic Thunder, you never go full retard, and I thought Tom Hanks balanced this character ever so perfectly. He's able to carry the movie incredibly well. It can feel one note, but he still elevates this movie. Michael Connor Humphreys, who played the younger Forrest Gump, did a very good job as well. Robin Wright, talking only about the acting and not the character. I'll get to that later. I think she's very good here. Hannah Hall, I thought did a pretty good job as well. She plays the young Jenny. Gary Sinise is the standout in this movie. He has the most material to work with, and he just pulls it off flawlessly. He brings so much depth to this character, and he just highlights the pain he's experiencing, and I was really impressed with him. Sally Field, I thought, did a fine job, but she doesn't really have much to work with. Mikhail T. Williamson, I thought, did a good job. He plays Bubba. And Haley Joel Osment plays Forrest's and Jenny's kid, and I thought he did a perfectly fine job. So the cast does do a good job, and this movie does have its charm. It's very over the top, but in a very sincere way, to the point where the movie still feels grounded. I also think the movie can be quite funny at times. I never laugh out loud, but I do chuckle. Like, I love how Forrest is running on the football field, but then he just keeps going. And then next time you see the football field, there's a big sign that says, "Stop, Forrest." The movie is entertaining. I don't find it to be boring. The movie is well directed by Robert Zemeckis. The CGI where he incorporates Forrest Gump into historical footage is really impressive. The soundtrack captures each passing year so perfectly. I thought it added plenty to the movie. And it is very quotable. Like, how many times have you heard, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get"? Or, "My mama said you can tell a lot about a person by the shoes they wear." You know, like, the movie has plenty of strengths to it. I do not think this is a bad movie. But, that said, I do got a few issues. First one is that this is a consistently good movie. I don't think it ever gets to greatness. I'm watching it, I'm entertained, but there's no point where I'm in love with this movie. I don't think the emotion lands as much as it could have. Like, his mom dies, and I really felt nothing. And even at the end, when Jenny dies, I didn't really care all too much either. So, I don't think it gets to greatness, and I wish the emotion hit more. And speaking of Jenny, let's just talk about Jenny as a character, because she's absolutely terrible to Forrest. He is good to her and loyal the entire time when he has no reason to be, and she just takes advantage of that and just chooses the worst possible decisions in life. Now, that said, we also get a glimpse of Jenny's past as a kid. where we can tell that she was abused in many ways. So there is some honesty to this character and how she acts. My issue with the movie is that it's told strictly from Forrest's point of view, and from his point of view, I don't think it captures the depths of Jenny in the way it needed to. Like, Lieutenant Dan, you see him time and time again, and he pops up, and you feel like you have an idea of his character and his growth. But with Jenny, you don't get that. You don't get a clear sense of how she has grown and changed over the years. And so as a result, like, I just think the character comes across as unlikable because the movie just is so limited in its point of view at times. So, yes, I don't like Jenny at all. I think Chris Walk in Spiral from the Book of Saw put it best, being like, she just took advantage of him the entire time. And then his friend's like, yeah, but she came back to him. And Chris Walk is like, yeah, after she got AIDS. I like Spiral from the Book of Saw. Very good Saw movie. And then the movie's also too long, and I definitely feel that in the last half hour. When Jenny leaves again, I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like that's when she could have stayed and they could have had a kid together, and then we could have gotten the rest of the movie. The one part that never works for me is when Forrest is just running. It's just stupid. It's not sincere or moving. It just feels like it's trying a little too hard by that point, and I feel like if you cut that out and you just keep the movie going as it was, it would have been much better. And I also don't really care for the music by Alan Silvestri. It feels a little too over the top, a little too sentimental, and there's just no memorable aspects of it. So I still enjoy Forrest Gump. Like I said, it's entertaining, it has its charm, it has its funny moments. The cast does a pretty good job, it's well directed, but there's just not much greatness on display. I don't think it hits me as much as it did for other people. I don't really care for how the movie approached the character of Jenny, and it is too long. The best part of this movie is Lieutenant Dan and Gary Sinise's performance, but the movie never gets to that level in any other regard. So I'll give Forrest Gump a 6 out of 10. I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again. Like 2 times, and I think I'm good. Also, there's also a better version of this movie in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Yes, the movies are different, but they're similar in some ways, and I definitely prefer that one over this one. But anyways, Forrest Gump, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin,